Today we're going to talk about Darkest Dungeon and its shrines. The reason why I want to talk about the shrines is that I think they're a fun way to tell a story. I just think they're horribly repetitive. I don't like the fact that they skill lock you, and I don't know if there should be 5 stages. Like I said, I like the fact that they try to incorporate something where you tell a story and it still applies to your game. It's not just some complete side stuff such as the journal notes were in the first Darkest Dungeon. I mean, they didn't really do anything. You could collect it, get lore, but you know, they didn't get you more cash. They didn't unlock like a hero's background, you know what I mean? Like, they were there. Now, my only problem is this man at arms scene right here is, I think, about 4 or 5 minutes by itself. And I find that just kind of horribly boring. Like, you do the same thing over and over again. There's no real variation. You just kind of have to go through the motions of damaging your enemies, yada yada yada. I feel like half of them, if not more, are intentional failures, which means you just want to get to the end as fast as possible because there's no way to win. I get it, they're trying to talk about the story of struggling and, you know, why they failed and where they're at now. I don't know. I wouldn't mind it, but I wish they made them a little quicker because they are kind of boring in my honest opinion. Such as, for example, this one. I mean, I think they really could have done it with a guy or two, and you see me upper corner right there. Just wave goodbye because I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to be doing the same 3 buttons over and over again. Pour one out, honor the dead. Pour one out, honor the dead. You know what I mean? It's just, I don't know. It's like, do I have to defeat 4 ghosts? So yeah, I'm not even going to show all of it now. I'm just going to kind of pause on the fact that you get a skill. Maybe I'll show some other generic gameplay. But I'm not a huge fan that you don't get most of the skills starting out. They say 11 skills and you start with 5, and honestly, I'll make a separate video on it, but I don't. A few of the characters have a rather weak starting kit, in my honest opinion. I do think the Barbarian's one of them, the Occultist is one of them. I can't judge the Jester yet, though. I feel like his starting kit's okay. Probably gets better, but his starting kit's okay. I think the Plague Doctor has a good kit, but people say it gets even better, which is amazing. Man at Arms has a good kit. His other skills are weird. I don't necessarily think they get a lot better. I still need to get farther in the Leper. The Highwayman, once you get point blank shot, I mean, he might have some really better other skills, but I haven't gone too far. The Runaway, I think I like 2 of her other abilities. Yeah, so the Runaway's kit's decent, and then I think that gets better. Who are we missing on this gravy train? Talked about the Men at Arms. We talked, Grave Robber. I think her kit gets better as you unlock stuff. Not too much terribly better. She's weird. I like her. I don't like using her too much because I used her a lot in the beginning, so I might have to bring her back. Yeah, so I still have a lot to unlock, and that's kind of my point as well. Is like, you might hit up 2 to 3 shrines a run, or maybe a dungeon level if you want. So maybe you can get about 5 or 6 levels. So you'd have to do about 8 to 9 full playthroughs to get everyone's skills unlocked, and at that point you're just throwing people in just to get their skills unlocked. I'd prefer maybe 8 of the skills, and then you only have about 3 shrines to hit up per person, and then if you want, put a mini game in the second one, and maybe the first and the last one are story. Maybe make the last one story. But I just haven't been too wowed by the mini games of the people's personal stories. Like Grave Robber, you gotta hide. Runaway was okay, you did like a weird puzzle, but it just, they felt kind of long, kind of boring, kind of repetitive, and I kind of wish they didn't focus as much time on the playing mini games and maybe worked on enemy balancing a little more and other content. But who knows, some people may really love them. I just find them more as just like, oh man, like, I don't know if this really did much for me personally. Like, I get it, it kind of shows you what happens and all that stuff, but overall, I don't know. Like, like I said, at the end of the day, I just wasn't feeling it too hard. So, not to say it's bad, but I just think they could have used their resources elsewhere. I kind of hope they reduce some of the redundancy on some of the games. You really get the point after the first time. The ones where they make you intentionally fail, please make me lose in the first 2 turns. Waiting for 8 people to go 3 or 4 turns in a row and having all my actions not mean anything. That That or just show it in like a small cinematic. I mean, I guess cinematic takes a lot more time, so I guess the turn-based is, I don't know. I just think they bloat run time, and you get the point after the first round or two. You don't need to do another 5, 6, 7 rounds. It's just, yeah. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know what you think of the shrines. I really hope they touch up on them. They probably see that as a done section of the game, and theoretically this is something you obviously only do once through. You don't actually have to worry about it again, but I really think they could have reduced some of the time, given you 8 skills, taking the first and second piece, throwing it together. That gives you 4 shrines less. Take the last one and the third one, slam those together. Now you got 3. You got mini game in the second, you got story in the first and third. You have 8 skills up front, which makes some people more appealing right away. Thank you so much for watching. Like I said, please let me know what you think.